Hello everyone, I'm Andrea. Welcome to my backyard. Sorry I couldn't have a more beautiful background for you guys, but where I live we're currently in lockdown, and if you can work from home, you're supposed to work from home. So hopefully once lockdown is lifted, I'll have some more beautiful backgrounds for you guys to look at while I make these videos. So you're all probably wondering why you're here. Why am I making these videos? Who am I? How am I qualified to be making them? And this is an introductory video that will hopefully answer all those questions for you. So as I mentioned before, my name is Andrea. I am a horticultural therapy practitioner. I just finished my online course to become a horticultural therapy practitioner. Before that, I studied the Horticultural Industries program at Algonquin College, and while I was there, I did a lot of work, volunteer work at the Mammodosin Center, including helping to take care of their Three Sisters garden. My education before that includes a BA in psychology and a certificate in life coaching. I am also involved with two organizations. One is called Root in Nature, which is a new organization in Ottawa that is helping to bring more horticultural therapy awareness and programming to the Ottawa area. The second program I'm involved with is Land Care Collective in Ottawa, which is an organization, it's also new, that is dedicated to helping horticulturists find work within the horticultural industry that is also environmentally sustainable. Because you'd be surprised how environmentally unsustainable currently the horticultural and landscaping industries are. Right before the first lockdown last year in March, I was hired by the Mammodosin Center at Algonquin College to run a horticultural therapy program, and I got to work one day and then lockdown happened, and you can't run a program at a college when no students are allowed on campus, so that position has been suspended temporarily due to COVID. So the next question you guys probably are wondering is, why am I making these videos? And to put it simply, I was asked to. The Mammodosin Center expressed interest in having some nature plant-based videos made to help students be able to connect with nature and plants even while they're stuck at home in lockdown and not really being able to go anywhere and enjoy very many places. The other reason why I'm doing it is because I'm passionate about helping people learn how to reconnect with plants and nature, because right now our society doesn't do that very well, and I can list, if anybody wants them, I can list numerous sources that go on about the benefits of the health benefits, the mental, the physical, the emotional, and spiritual health benefits of reconnecting with plants and nature. So the next question is, why is it important? Why is taking care of plants, taking care of the environment, why is all of those things important to us? Like, why should we care? And for that, I am actually going to read you a Carl Sagan quote. I first came across this quote. My favorite band did a promotional video with a charity to help raise awareness about different endangered species around the planet. And unfortunately I can't show you the video because of copyright laws, but I will put a link for it below in the comments if anybody cares to check out the full thing. It's a really powerful and amazing video. I just love it so much. I watch it whenever I want to be inspired. But at the beginning of the video there is an image and a quote that Carl Sagan gave in response to that image. Now, this is my first time making a video, so I'm not fantastic at editing, so I am going to attempt to edit the image over top of me right now so that you would be looking at the picture, and it's a picture taken by I believe it was the Voyager 1 space probe as it was going out into space, and it's actually a picture of Earth. In case by chance I cannot figure out how to do that, I will put a link to the picture in the comment section below, and I will title it Pale Blue Dot, and that's the link you want to follow to see this picture. So I'm going to read that quote for you now while you guys look at this picture from the Voyager probe, and for the people who may not have keen eyesight and who are looking at the picture going, okay, what am I looking at? I don't see this pale blue dot. In the sort of just to the right of center, there you'll see a streak of light that goes through the picture, and sort of in the upper quadrant there's this teeny tiny little speck, and that little teeny tiny speck is Earth. So that's what we're looking at when you listen to this quote. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you have ever heard of. Every human being who ever was lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter, every forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor, and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint, and every sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. That's here. That's home. That's us. And that quote, as fabulous as it is, only gives us the significance to humans. It doesn't talk about all the other species that there are here on Earth. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to run some approximate numbers off for you. They're not exact. I did round them for speaking sake, so they aren't 100% accurate, but besides humans, on Earth, there's approximately 6,500 species of mammals. There's about 20,000 species of birds, 32,000 species of fish, 10,000 species of reptiles, 900,000 species of insects, 400,000 species of plants, and 100 trillion species of microbes. And I didn't even list everything there. Now, hopefully that quote helped stimulate some passion into you for wanting to go out into nature and start learning about plants and learning more about nature and what we as humans can do to help nature. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, I don't have a green thumb, and so therefore they don't really want anything to do with plants. But you don't have to have a green thumb to go out and enjoy the benefits of nature and enjoy being in nature. And I think the more time you spend with nature and the more time that you learn about plants, you might actually be surprised to find out that there's no such thing as a brown thumb. at least in my opinion. The only difference between a brown thumb and a green thumb is knowledge and attitude. So the next question is, what can we do for nature? And for that, I'm going to refer back to a little bit of a conversation I had with a friend last week about humans and how we behave in nature. And to start off with, I would like to define for you guys what an invasive plant species is and what a native plant species is. So an invasive plant species is an organism, in this situation a plant, that causes ecological harm in a new environment where it is not native. My apologies for the long break there. I just got interrupted and had to stop filming for a minute. It's all good, don't worry about it. My dad just forgot that I was using the backyard and decided to come pull some dandelions. So as I was saying, I had defined invasive plant species, and now a native plant species is a plant that occurs naturally in a particular region, state, or ecosystem and habitat without direct or indirect human actions. Some have extended it to include plants that have been brought from other places but have adapted to living in the new place in a way that is not harmful to the environment or to the ecosystem. And I was having this conversation with a friend last week about invasive species versus native species. And you'll hear a lot on social media that humans are an invasive species. We're like parasites that just take everything and destroy everything we come across. And it's not true. There are literally hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of indigenous cultures around the world that do not behave like invasive species. It's our current, the way we're raised in first world countries, the consumerism mindset that we can just have whatever we want when we want it and there's no consequences. You just throw out the old thing and go to the store and get a new thing. So, although a lot of humans behave like invasive species, it's more that we have an invasive culture currently going on. But that's a good thing because we can change our culture. The other thing you'll hear on social media is a lot of people talking about, oh, like this is the answer, this is how we fix the environment, this is how we fix climate change. And by no means am I picking on vegans. Just happens to be one that I've heard recently, that if everybody on the entire earth switched to a vegan diet, that we would like mitigate climate change and it would all be good. And although that would be beneficial, it would be good. It wouldn't fix everything. Because what people don't understand is that there's not one key answer, because the problem is everywhere. It is in everything. It is in the way our society is built from the ground up. We literally need to change every institution, every system. We need to get rid of colonized thinking. It's just a huge, insurmountable problem, and it's not going to be fixed by one thing. Now, after hearing that, you're probably thinking like, oh my God, I can't do that. I can't fix everything. It's too much. It's not possible. And it has been proven in psychology that generally the more individuals that are involved in a problem or in a situation, the less likely we are to have empathy for it, because it seems too big for us to handle. But you don't need to fix everything. You need to find what your one little part is and fix that. So for you, if it's going vegan, great, go vegan And if going vegan doesn't work for you, that's okay. Find something else. For me, I'm super passionate about teaching people how to make environmentally sustainable ecosystems within cities, because cities aren't disappearing, they're not going to go away. And if everybody just suddenly went and moved into the wilderness and lived off the land, that wouldn't work either, because we deplete the resources, because we still have the same consumerism mindset that needs to be changed. And the other thing I'm passionate about is soil health. You might remember before I listed off a bunch of different species on Earth, and I said there's something like 3 trillion different species of microbes. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what microbes are, is they're basically microscopic organisms that live everywhere, like viruses and bacteria and fungi and nematodes and a whole bunch of other stuff. And most people are usually like, oh no, those are bad, that's gross, I don't want to know about microbes. But the fact is that microbes are everywhere, and everything that is alive on Earth depends on microbes to live. So I personally think soil health and microbes are so important that I'm actually going to do a whole video on it later on in the season. Maybe on a rainy day and where I'm stuck filming inside, we'll see. So you don't need to fix everything. So don't stress about fixing everything. Find your peace and do it passionately. So I am also passionate about helping people reconnect with plants and nature. And so I actually have a homework assignment for you. It's a little homework assignment that we'll build upon every week. My hope is that it's going to help you reconnect with plants. So your homework assignment for this week is to go out in your backyard or in your neighborhood and find a plant that you like, that is accessible to you, that you can spend some time observing it. And I want you to try and figure out what kind of plant it is. It could also be a shrub, but shrubs are a bit more difficult to identify. If you don't know how to identify plants, there's lots of fantastic apps that you can download on your phone that will help you out. I personally prefer PlantNet just because I find it more user-friendly. And what I want you to do is, when you think you've figured out what plant it is, I want you to find out what its common name is, and sometimes they might have more than one common name. Look up what its scientific name is, because sometimes different plants can have the same common name. So the way you distinguish them is with the scientific name. And then the third thing is, if you are indigenous and you have access to your language, try and find out what the indigenous name for it is. And this is really important because indigenous names are really descriptive. Like I was watching a video online somewhere, I don't remember the details of it, but they were talking about the plant scouring rush. And it's a type of rush that's hollow in the middle, and it's got all these little cross hairs, and I guess when you slice it open, you can use it to scour, to clean with, and it's green, and it tastes bitter, and it grows by water. And the Anishinaabe name for it, which I don't remember. I'm not fantastic. I'm really good at remembering concepts, not really good at remembering names. But the Anishinaabe word for scouring rush basically describes the plant, that it scours, that it's green, that it tastes bitter, and that you can find it growing by water. And that's why, if you have access to your language, it's important to learn those names, because they'll tell you a whole load of information about the plant. If you don't have access to your language, don't stress about it. I don't want this to be a stressful assignment for you. If you can't find any plants, like if there's a chance that you're really stuck in lockdown in a neighborhood where there's nothing other than grass, then you can email me. I'll put my email below, or find me on Facebook. I'll put my Facebook below. And I'll pick a plant and send you some pictures, and you can see if you can ID it off of that and figure out that information. And the reason why I like PlantNet so much is because if I email you a picture and you download the picture to your computer, or to your phone, sorry, then you can upload the picture into PlantNet. It doesn't need to be an actual picture that you've taken with your phone. So if you're having difficulty and it's stressing you out with this homework assignment, I absolutely do not want it to stress you out. It's supposed to be relaxing and help you connect with plants and nature. So if you're having difficulty, you can find all my links below, and just send me an email. And that's it for this week. So I hope you have a good week, and I will see everyone next week. Maybe we'll be going over some gardening basics, like choosing soil and how to pot a plant, and how to fertilize plant and things like that. So until then, everyone take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all later.